So, what if AI scientists could actually team up, share their findings, and build on each other's work, just like humans do? Well, a new framework called AgentRxiv is making that a reality, and honestly, it could completely change the speed of scientific discovery. So let's break down how this digital laboratory for AIs actually works and what it could mean for the future of research itself.
It sounds like a bit of a weird question, right? But it gets right to the heart of a huge problem. See, right now, our most advanced AI systems, the ones they build to do research, they work in total isolation. They solve a problem and then, poof, they pretty much forget everything they just learned before starting the next task. I mean, think about how human science works. It's this massive, centuries-long team project. We publish papers, we read each other's work, we stand on the shoulders of giants. It's all about collaboration. But AI research, it's been the exact opposite. Each AI agent has been its own lonely genius, forced to reinvent the wheel every single time. It's just incredibly inefficient.
To solve this, researchers came up with a brilliantly simple yet really powerful idea. What if we just gave these AIs a shared library, a place where they could publish their work for other AIs to find and read?
And they call it AgentRxiv. Now, the name is a nod to archive, which is that famous online archive where scientists post their research papers. AgentRxiv is the exact same idea, but it's built specifically for autonomous AI agents. They can upload their findings, search the database for work that's relevant, and use that knowledge to kickstart their next experiment.
And here's a look at how it works in practice. Now, don't worry about reading all the text here. Just kind of follow the flow. You've got one AI laboratory that finishes its work and uploads its paper to the server. Then another lab, which could be halfway across the world, can instantly find and download that paper to get a huge head start. It's a simple idea, but it means no more isolated work.
So, the big question is, does it actually work? Well, the first experiment was designed to answer a pretty simple question. Can a single AI agent get smarter just by remembering its own past work?
To find out, the researchers gave an AI agent a really tough assignment. Solve problems from a benchmark of 500 challenging high school math questions. This is a pretty standard test for measuring an AI's ability to reason.
All right, so working completely on its own, starting fresh with each new problem, the AI agent's accuracy was 70.2%. I mean, that's not bad at all, but let's consider this our baseline. This is the score to beat.
But then, they let the agent publish its attempts as papers and learn from its own history. Just focus on the graph here. As the AI generated more and more papers, it could look back at its previous work. And you can see that steady climb in performance. It jumped a full 8 percentage points, all the way up to an accuracy of 78.2%.
The takeaway here is simple, but it's so powerful. Just giving an AI a memory of its own work allows it to learn and get smarter over time. But that was just one AI learning from itself. The real warm-up was over.
This is where things get truly exciting. What if it wasn't just one lab learning from its own past, but multiple labs learning from each other in real time?
This was the big question. Researchers set up 3 separate AI labs, all working on the same math problems, but all of them connected to the same central agent archive. So every single time one lab discovered a new technique, it was instantly available to the others.
And the result was just stunning. On the left, you've got the single lab's progress, that nice steady climb we saw before. But on the right, with 3 labs sharing knowledge, whoa, it's not a climb, it's a launch. The progress is absolutely explosive as they learn from each other's breakthroughs and avoid each other's mistakes. The rate of discovery just skyrockets.
Through all that collaboration, they hit a new peak accuracy of 79.8%. They didn't just beat the single agent score, they blew past it. And they got there much, much faster.
So the real story here isn't just the higher score, it's the speed. AgentRxiv fundamentally changes the pace of research. I mean, discoveries that might take a single agent months to figure out could potentially be made in a matter of days.
So what does a future with collaborating AI scientists actually look like? Well, the potential is enormous, but the researchers are also really careful to point out the significant challenges that are still ahead.
Imagine applying this framework not just to math problems, but to the world's biggest challenges. You could have networks of AI agents collaborating on designing new drugs, discovering novel materials for batteries, building better climate models, or writing incredibly complex software. The possibilities are just staggering.
The researchers' own conclusion in the paper sums it up perfectly.
They say parallel experimentation combined with shared research results via AgentRxiv accelerates the pace of research progress and achieves higher final accuracy.
But, the researchers are also refreshingly honest about the challenges. A system where AIs are teaching other AIs introduces some really tricky new problems that have to be solved before this can be rolled out safely at a massive scale.
For instance, what if one AI hallucinates, it just makes up a result? Well, that single error could spread through the entire network like a virus. And how do we make sure discoveries are genuinely new and not just remixes of old ideas? And then there's the whole question of who gets the credit. These practical questions around AI authorship are completely uncharted territory.
This all leaves us with a fascinating final thought. We are standing at the very beginning of a new era of automated collaborative discovery. The challenges are real, for sure, but the potential is almost limitless. So, if you had access to this technology, what problem would you set it to work on first?